Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Poverty. I'm your host, Drip Coach, dropping knowledge bombs on all drip ecosystem related projects. And today's video, I want to review a video I did almost 3 months ago. This one, I think I did it around middle of March, according to my spreadsheet. And this was looking at the percentage of whales that were in the contract and couldn't drain. And then recently, I did this video here. 70% of the community is gonna FOMO. So that was me looking at my team and seeing how many people had basically less than 100 drip in their wallet. And I wanted to go back now and just kind of look at the data, because somebody in the comments said that that was just a reflection of my community and that's not the whole community. And my response to that was, that's literally how data analysis is done. You take a sample and then you extrapolate that out, because clearly you can never sample everyone. But luckily, with tools like dripnetwork.ca and being able to historically go back and review old data that was captured, we can kind of review everyone. So what I did was pull up the old spreadsheet and then add to it here. So this was 15th of March, and now I'm doing this on 11th of June. And what this does, if you're not familiar with dripnetwork.ca, basically what I'm looking at is this value here. You can come in here and then just do an export to CSV, right? So that will tell you, when you do that, it'll tell you, not SPRITZ, it'll tell you how many wallets are in each range. And what I wanted to do in here was kind of wanted to see how people are moving in the ecosystem. So like I said, when I looked at my numbers, there was an alarming amount of people that basically had less than 100 drip. And since January, we have been sitting at, below $1 prices for drip. So to me, it was evident that these people had tapped out, because a lot of them had gotten in at the higher drip prices. So deductive reasoning tells me if they were able to buy in when drip was 50, 75, 25 or whatever, then they have the risk capital to be able to definitely buy at these prices. But due to the bear market just kicking butt and taking names, and people just it's not interesting anymore, they kind of forget about it. And I know personally people that I have brought in have not hydrated their accounts, completely forgot even how to do it. They're like, how do I get to this MetaMask thing? What's the website? How do I? So they don't even know how to use it anymore. So I was curious to find out if that was reflective of the greater ecosystem. So a couple things I want to point out, and this is actually very, very bullish in my opinion, because that tells us the people that are left are the ones that are active and the ones that are actually causing this sell pressure. So we're getting these numbers here, but since it's such a small number, that means getting the rest of the community involved and or new eyeballs, we can really take drip to an all new location. Not gonna say all-time highs, but all new location, which means above $1. So let's look at this first. So one thing that I thought was interesting is that back on March 15th, we had almost 20,000 players with less than 10 drip. So there's a lot of new wallets being created. But we fast forward 3 months later, they're still about the same amount. So there's been 304 of those players move away from 0 to 10. So technically one would think that they've DCA'd or compounded, and that would be why you have less people now than you did 3 months ago. So when you look at the bottom 500, you start to see that that is the common narrative. So like all of these are a change in regards to the people now. There's less in these categories than there was back on the 15th, which would make sense. Even if you're compounding once a week without DCAing, you're going to eventually increase your bag, right? So that makes perfect sense. So what I did here was actually add this up. So players underneath 500 drip or less, there's a difference of 7,594. So that means 7,594 players from June 11th back to March 15th have moved out of this range. So again, that tells me there is some activity there, be that these were all additional accounts by other people or they're new accounts, but at least they're active, a small fraction at least, right? 7,594. And then a total of 7,710 have been added to the range of 1,000 to 5,000. So I can't verify this. All I can do is look at the numbers, but it's kind of interesting that less than 500 is almost 7,600 people, and from 1,000 to 5,000 is 7,700. So that's telling me that a lot of the small bag holders have moved up the food chain. And this could also be brand new accounts, but it's just very close numbers to say that that would make sense. And we do know that every 75 days, roughly, you can double your drip price. So it would not be hard to see someone with 500 drip and a little bit of a DCA over 75 days move into the 1,000 to 5,000 range. Makes perfect sense. So I just thought that that was interesting. That's not the real nail in the coffin, so to speak. But let's get down here and look at the numbers. So over the last 3 months, we've added roughly 7,792 new accounts. So that's about 89 drip accounts per day. Now it'll be interesting to see, because as of this video, which is Saturday night for me, Triple D has not launched yet. So it will be interesting to see if this number spikes up. That's another reason why I'm doing this video now, to see if after Triple D is launched, do we get a spike in new wallets? Because with the new tokenomics and jackpot payouts, it will definitely incentivize people to make new wallets. So let's see how that goes. That's why I'm actually documenting this. But what's also very, very telling is we've had an increase. So back on March 15th, there was 1,177 drip accounts that I'm calling max. So basically anybody with 25K or more was added here, and I'm calling that a max account, even though it's 27,400. I just like the 25,000 mark. So I did the same thing here. So there was 0.87% of the total wallets had a max account. Now, when we fast forward, there's 2.1%. So clearly the active people in the community have definitely either bought max wallets, DCA'd, added to, like I ended up moving into this category. I think actually I was already there. In March, I was just below, maybe it might've been 24,000, 22,000, something like that. But I moved up. I've seen other people in the chats that have moved into this range. So we're still at a very small amount. 2% are at max. But what's also very, very interesting is when you look at these numbers here of people that are over the max. So 27,000 to 28,000. So remember the magic number is 27.4, but there was 794 there, and we've almost doubled that. And then people going way over, we had 71 and now we have 157. And even people with a butt ton of drip, 4 people, and then now 4 from the 37 total from here, these two ranges, and only 5 there. So some people have claimed or compounded more than they need to. And again, the reason I'm documenting this is because I want to see what happens with Triple D, because what will happen is there could be some people playing with a near max wallet. Say they're playing with 10,000, they win the 27,000. Then they're going to fall into this 37,000 range. So I just want to see how the numbers add up as we go forward. But what I think is awesome, like I said, the good news to me is that there are a lot of people tapped out of the ecosystem. So that's actually shown by the numbers. So when we go back to March, you have roughly that 70% that I was talking about. So 67% had less than 500 drip. When you go up to 1,000, 78%. And then we go less than 3,000, 90%. That is crazy. 90% of the people had less than 3,000 drip. Now that's still a lot of money, even at 30 cents, but that lets you know there's a very small percentage of the community that is causing this sell pressure. Now, granted, you could still have 2,000 drip and still be selling every day, of course, but we know that that's going to, those people will claim out faster than the ones that are compounding and not selling at all. Now, when we zoom out or come to current times, it has increased a bit or decreased, depending on how you look at it. So instead of being 67% with less than 500, we now have 58% with less than 500. So there are people active and moving out of those smaller drip ranges and moving up. But still, when we come to the 1,000 or less drip level, we're still looking at 69%. And we know for 1,000 drip, it's roughly about $250 to $300 basically, because drip is averaging about 30 cents, we'll say. So $300 is still a decent chunk of change for people, but this is since January. You could have gotten that. So that's $50 a month since January if you had been DCAing, and that's not even counting the compounds. So to me, that is definitely significant to say that 70% of the drip community has less than 1,000 drip in their wallet. And again, these people have been in for quite some time. So why do I think that's bullish? Because when you come over and look at the charts, when you look at net volume, remember this is on the PancakeSwap DEX, and the net volume just tells us how much BUSD value is going in and out of drip on a daily basis. For the most part of January till now, you can see that drip is bouncing between this $40,000 range and even lower, like closer to 21,000. So there is not a lot of daily active involvement in drip, even with the sell pressure. For us to be below, you see this red means we had all sell days. So if you go from this one, that's 15,000, and you go down to the bottom, 15,000. That's it. That's all the money that was coming into drip. Like, it does not take much to move drip and start getting positive price action. Now, granted, the double-edged sword part of this is the minute that drip starts moving, these people that have been sleeping on the sidelines, one, they'll come back and start to FOMO in. That's great. That means more buy pressure. But also, some people are going to sell. So I would imagine some of these people that have been tapped out and not doing anything, they would have sitting in their available some drip that they could claim. Now, would they compound it? Would they sell it? I don't know. But we're going to still have a little ways to go regarding the kind of mini battle at the $1 range. But I'm showing you that of that 30% that are active, I'm calling them active because they have more than 1,000 drip. Granted, there are people below that don't, but I just have to use simple numbers. So let's just say that only 30% of the community is active. Well, they're only causing, like I said, 40,000 and on average closer to $20,000 worth of sell pressure, which is keeping the drip token going south. So that can easily be combated pretty quickly in crypto. Now, 20,000 per day is definitely a lot for the average person if that was something you had to spend. But when you're talking about a community of 30 to 50,000 people, like that does not take much. Remember the math numbers of Triple D, like 1 BUSD buying a ticket a day. Granted, everybody's not going to buy, but if you take 20,000 of those drippers and they're buying a $5 ticket, once a day, that's 100 grand. And that will take drip right out of this negative sell pressure. So to me, just a TLDR to wrap this up, I find it very, very interesting that a large amount of the community has not done anything with their bags since January. Probably goes back way before this, but this is just when I started looking at this back in March, and that even a still small amount are maxed. Now, what I want to see going forward is how these numbers shape up once Triple D is launched. So that's going to be the real telltale sign. How many more max accounts are created? How many of these accounts move? What is the percentage that changes? So that will let us know how much activity is happening on drip, as well as does the accounts per day change. So I think it's bullish that it's only a small amount of BUSD value being sold every day, and that it is a very, very small amount of the drip community. And with us being in a bear market, and there's still plenty of opportunity with all these additional partnership utilities and stuff the community's creating and all that, I think we can get a lot more eyes on drip, and this number can go up dramatically, because with more partner opportunities and more things coming down the pipeline, and just a very small amount of people actually causing sell pressure, there's so much room for FOMO, so much room to grow. And the closer we also get to the halving and the next bull cycle. So yeah, just thought I'd share that. I thought that was fascinating. Hope that provides some value. If it did, smash that HBO special, help a brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. Until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.